Okay, yogis, I'm just adjusting it a little bit, trying to make sure I've got as much as I can. Sorry about the angles aren't the best here. I haven't used this studio in a while to record, so things I got furniture here now, so we'll do our best. But hopefully it'll be good enough. So I'm working today with you on going through the warm-up routine together. So you have the printout, the list, all the words, a lot of words. So maybe a little bit easier to learn and internalize this by just following along with me. So that's the idea here. So I'm going to have my cheat sheet out, though, just so I don't forget anything. But you can just follow along, do this a few times, practice it on your own. Before you know it, we'll all have it. So it begins in seated cross-legged. Now, you're going to begin at the back of your mat. I'm just going to change my angles depending on what movement we're doing. And just take a moment and invite everyone to just arrive, settle. It's good for you as a teacher to take that moment just to exhale out and just let everything go. And then we'll begin and invite people to find a nice posture, seated position. And we can begin with the hands together in prayer, right at the heart. And it's up to you if you want to invoke some type of intention as you work up your chakras, or you can just work your way up to a nice stretch. Going up into your third eye, on your head. And then a nice inhale, a little stretch to start. And as you exhale, how about just a little gentle side stretch? So in the beginning, maybe just a nice informal, a few back and forth. I'm just going to do a couple on each side. I'm going to come back to the middle, and I'm going to add a little twist. So I'm going to inhale that length. And as I exhale, I'm going to let my right arm sweep back and my left sweep forward. I'm looking back for a breath, and then I'm looking forward. I'm going to inhale back to the length. As I exhale, I twist the other side, reaching back. Nice long spine as you look back. Core is engaged. I look forward. Inhale back up. As I exhale, I'm going to release down. So I'm getting a little flexion. And then I'm going to roll over on my knees. I can't do that with my knees. So I'm just going to make my way into a child's pose. And then I'm going to come back, sit back in that child's pose. Knees can be a little bit wide, feet are together. And you take a breath in child's. Now we're going to repeat that side stretch, that side bend. We're going to walk long arms over to the left corner of the mat, inhaling through the side body, through the ribs. And then you're going to walk the hands over to the right side of the mat. Find that length of the body to the side. And then you come back to the middle. Maybe inhale just a little lengthening, a little stretch. And as you exhale, you start to come up a little bit, and then you're going to walk your hands and have them come back into a deep squat, that garland pose. You're going to come up, and you're going to encourage them to get their heels all the way down. Some yogis may have to go a little wider with their feet. Right? I can't have my feet together. It's too much. Some yogis may have to be a little bit higher up. So you're going to encourage them to settle in for a few breaths, try to work into these hips. I've got my back flexed down, hands are down to the mat as best I can, palms facing up, breathing. Now some yogis may be able to wrap back behind and even find if you want to, depending on the class, you could add that little twist, that little lengthening through each side. Just have to read the room on that one, see how it is. And then from this squat position, we're going to slowly make our way down into our tabletop position, onto our hands and our knees. And from the tabletop position, we get to come into that nice little soft circular movement, that dancing lion. So you're rolling around about 3 or 4 times in one direction, and then you go the other way, in the hips, the knees a little bit, the shoulders, the wrists. And then from that dancing line, we come into our cats and our cows. So you're inhaling the length the spine lengthens, and then maybe the belly drops a little in that cow. And then as you exhale, that's that big flexion, that arch in your cat. Breathing in. Always cueing that lengthening, and then the back bend, and then exhale, that nice counter. And you flex it. And after a few cat cows, maybe 3 or 4, we'll come into the bird dog. So the nice way to remember that. From the cats, you come into the bird dog. So the bird dog, a chance to start to wake up the balance. I'm going to bring my left leg back, flex my foot, set that hip, level it down, right? I don't want the hip open. I want it to be leveled and squared off. Right arm is out, opposite arm, opposite leg. I've got my fingers forward, my thumbs up. And you could just hold this a few breaths with them if you like, or if you want to add some variation, maybe that knee to elbow crunch, if you like, or some other version. So then you come back, you balance it with the other side. Take your time, set that. This is a nice position because later on you may be doing, say, like a warrior 3, and you can refer. So remember that hip position you had in your bird dog. Try to find that again now in your warrior 3. Finding the balance, engaging the right glute, and maybe a little something a little extra if you want in that bird dog. We come back down, and then from the bird dog we go to the down dog. Another nice way to remember it. Curl your toes under, lifting up the hips. And now you walk out the down dog. You warm it up a little bit. And then we're going to walk it forward. So as you have them walk it forward, you can invite them to come up on the tips of their toes, maybe the tips of their fingers. And then when they get close to the hands, they get to just take a few moments and hang. A soft fold. So they can bend their knees, let their belly come on their thighs. Let the back muscles relax and clasp elbows that they like, or some yogis like to walk their hands. So just a little gentle side to side swing. And from here, that's the end of phase 1. Phase 1 was the warm up on the ground. Now we come into phase 2, the warm up from standing, focusing a lot on the spine. So now we're going to roll up the spine on the standing. And as they come up, it's good. Most people, it feels good to get that first stretch. So you can inhale the length. And then as you exhale, just a gentle side stretch, just like in the beginning when you did that, right? You did that little gentle back and forth. So you could do a little wave, or you feel that little back and forth. And then inhale. And as you exhale, let the hands come down to the heart. Let the arms come down. Samasthiti. We'll take a moment. Now, if you'd like to, here, maybe informally, it depends on the vibe, you can do a couple of these gentle twists. That can feel good. That was the first part, very gentle side bend. Now we'll come to the second part, right? I'm going to come into a little bit of a little bit bigger side bend. And I forgot, before you roll up, if you remember, cue them to have their feet hip distance apart. If you forgot that like I did, you could do that now. Feet are a little bit wide apart. Now I'm going to come into that a little bit of a bigger side stretch. So I'm going to inhale the arms up. I'm going to make that mudra with the index finger and the thumb on my one hand. Grab the wrist, pull up and over as you get that little side stretch. See if you can have them look up. And I'm going to inhale. I'm going to breathe in this position. I'm going to come back and I'm going to switch sides, making the mudra, grabbing the wrist. Inhaling that length and pulling in a little stretch, maybe looking up. And let them inhale there if you'd like. I'm going to come back. And now from here, I'm going to come into a slightly bigger back bend. Hands behind the hips, a supported back bend. So I'm engaging the glutes. I'm pressing the hips a little forward. And I'm not back bending, going straight to the back bend. Find a little bit of length if you can. Encourage that. Heart opens, lifts it, opens up. And you breathe, don't remind them to not hold their breath. And then as you release that bigger back bend, we're going to go all the way down into a fold. And with these feet about hip distance apart, we're going to take our peace fingers and grab our big toes, wrap them, pull up on those toes to bring yourself down. You can bend the knees. I've got my belly on my thighs, letting the head drop, elbows out to the side, start to pull
up on those feet, head coming down. And then maybe you can lift those hips a little bit and breathe. Beautiful breaths. When I'm inhaling, I'm feeling my belly push into my thighs. And then I'm going to slowly release and roll back up. As I come back up, to me, it feels good to find just a little lengthening. As I exhale, hands come down to the heart, down the arms, Samasthiti. So that was the second pass, a little bit bigger. The third time we come into the Bikram style. Now we have the feet come together, or in one line, and we inhale the arms up. This time the palms come together, the fingers interlace, the index fingers shoot up, biceps right in the sides of the head. And now you find that side bend again, and you're really working on lengthening and then doing that little bend, that little stretch. And inhaling. I'm going to come back to the middle. I'm going to inhale a little length, start it. I'm going to find that lengthening and then that little stretch, right? Side bend, one side's bending, one side is stretching. You're finding that open space up to the ribs and the shoulders. And then when you come back, now you're in a full back bend with those arms up. Inhaling the length and opening the chest up. And some yogis can go a little deeper in that one. Once again, cueing that long spine, heart reaching up. Not feeling that in the low back. And then as you exhale, we're going to release all the way down. And now this time for the fold, instead of the peace fingers, we're going to bring the hands behind the legs and see if we can even bring the fingers under the heels. We're trying to get the forearms to be right on the calves. Elbows maybe on the inside, right? The inside of the elbows almost on the inside of the knees. Head drops, then you lift the hips up a bit. Hold up on those heels to bring the head down. Belly is right into my thighs. I'm inhaling. My belly's pushing my thighs. And then I'm going to slowly release. Come back. Roll it back up. And then if you like, inhale just a little length. And exhale, hands coming down to the heart. And then to the sides. Samasthiti. And that's the end of phase 2. So we've warmed up the spine now from the seated position, now from the standing position. Spine pretty good. Now we're going to come into warming up the sun salutation. And that's going to go in 4 steps. So it's going to start. We come to from the Samasthiti, we come to our Tadasana. We're a little more active. We're going to inhale the length. And as you exhale, you do that full fold down. As you come down, cue the hands planting right the sides of each feet. So you have nice form. You can bend the knees. Then inhale, half flat back. Wait to come up on the tips of your fingers. Right, finding length of the spine, finding a little work, a little stretch in the hamstrings. As you exhale, you fold back down. Then when you inhale, you root down and you rise back up. Exhale, hands to the heart. So that's part 1 of the warm-up. Part 2, we go 1 step further. We inhale the length up. And as you exhale, once again, that full fold down. Hands right next to the feet. You inhale, half flat back. Coming up. And as you exhale, this time, you're going to step your left foot back into that runner's lunge. Drop the knee. Release the foot. And you come up and you bow to the sun. So you come up in a little cactus arms, a little thoracic opener, just a gentle back bend through the shoulders and the chest. And then you release. Come back. And you bring your way back up to the other side. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Now we're going to balance it out on the other side. Breathe in. Breathe out. All the way down. Inhale halfway up. And as you exhale this time, you step the right foot back. Come down on the knee. Release the foot. Strong left leg. As you inhale and open up. And as you exhale, hands can come back down to the mat. Step it up. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. That's part 2. All right, now part 3, we're going to come into the cobra. So we're going to inhale it up, the length.
We're going to exhale the full fold, hands to the side of the feet. Inhale, half flat back. And as you exhale this time, you're going to plant your hands, step the feet back one at a time. You're in that plank position, dropping it. You can pause it here a moment for them, let them catch up to it, and then cue that slow lowering all the way down to the mat. Release the feet. Find that gentle cobra. You can cue a little pressing, right? So you're telling them, hey, we're coming into the up dog. Maybe next time you're ready for that up dog. So you're getting into there. Coming back down. They can use their knees if they need to. Press up or full push up into that down dog. And I always cue the feet stepping forward just a little bit if they like. Take a few breaths, that down dog. Maybe walk it out again. Now we're going to look up to the hands and we're going to step back up. And that can be tough, right? That step up. Coming back. Inhaling halfway up. Exhaling fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Now we're ready for that last time, the fourth one. We find the full sun salutation, if you want to call it that. Breathe in. Exhale all the way down. Inhale halfway up. As you exhale, you're going to step it back. Tight body. And this time you could say, hey, if you're ready, you're going to hover in that Chaturanga Dandasana. Elbows at about 90 degrees. And then when you come to the up dog, you come to the tops of the feet. So nothing's touching the ground. The tops of the feet. I'm engaging my glutes a bit. Shoulder blades together. Maybe looking up. And then as I release, I just roll across the tops of my feet. Lift the hips back up. Coming back to that down dog. Finding my breath. Then looking up. And we return to standing. Stepping it up. Inhale halfway. Exhale fold. Inhale root and rise. Exhale hands to the heart. Congratulations, yogis. Hopefully I remember that all right. Let me know. Watch it, and hopefully I got this thing. It's not going to have an error. It says your connection's unstable. We'll see. All right. Peace out.